starting slightly early because we're ready for MSQ. We're kind of still scared about trading over to the buns so we can do bun night.
Sniff.
Hopefully next week, and we'll get the holiday in before it leaves. Knock on wood.
That would also be good.
So, we're back to MSQ, because it's one of the few things we can do right now.
And amazingly, we can do it, unlike earlier.
Yeah. We actually spent most of the day making sure Rai was of level that we could take the next Q point. Excuse me. For some reason, I've been kind of burpy at night, and I'm not sure why. Anyway. Graha?
I can decline. I hope you didn't mind us barging into your room for our late night feast. For what it's worth, it did me a world of good to put our troubles to one side, if only for a moment.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. Oh yeah, that's right. Everyone got to miss some very important stuff last night.
Yeah, sorry. After coming back from visiting my folks last night, while I was definitely in the mood to game, to get my mind off things, I was not exactly in the mood to be entertaining, if that makes sense. So here we are. Do I have the room in, emote only mode?
No idea.
I probably horribly mistyped that. Yeah, it doesn't recognize that. Emote only off. Okay. So are we ready?
Maybe?
Cryo?
Sound the bell. School's in. Ryle and Grahatia were having a pleasant conversation until you barged in.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope? I was about to make my way to the studio, as it happens. I wanted to try and speak to Scholar Montetrain and thank him for coming to our rescue in the Rostra. As it turns out, he'd come to see us following the hearing, only to find that we'd already been departed for Thavnair. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud with his former students. Since we're still waiting for Yustola and the others, I thought it might be a perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? Actually, yes, I would love to join him and give it a talk with him, because he really did save our butts. Then it's settled. The twins will be coming too, assuming Alphino can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops while I go ahead to the phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
Thank you!
That was exactly what I was thinking. The Muppets have forever ruined us. Indeed.
Yep.
Nope. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studium for a time.
That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. Graha?
Unlike some of the Scions, I am not an alumni of the studium. As such, I have no acquaintances there I am obliged to visit. And while I would love nothing more than to pore over the many great tomes of Phenomenon, I fear my presence there would stir up more unwanted trouble. So, for now, I will be patient, much as it pains me to do so.
Go have another cheeseburger. You know you want one. Oh! She changed... Where's she hiding? Ah!
Off to the side.
Well, someone's getting in some target practice.
Mm-hmm.
Alfie.
If Father can master these fiendish contraptions, then so can I.
Yes, you can, Alice. Heading out for a stroll? Actually, we're going to head to Master Champlain's. The Skull-Ark himself was here? In that case, what are we waiting for?
I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us.
Alphinaud, of all people, worrying over his reputation. And at our alma mater, no less. Will wonders never cease?
Oh,
You'll
dear.
understand soon enough. Off we go!
What was he like as a student? Actually, that's right. I remember them talking about him like debating with everybody.
Yes! That, and he had a reputation as a ladies' man because of all his art. But I do apologize for people missing a fair chunk of plot last night. It was just kind of for the best. And finally, we get to this big building.
Mm-hmm.
Alphino?
It feels like only yesterday that I first walked through these doors.
See that sculpted picture above the entrance? That's the Mark of Thaliac, the scholar, bearer of the waters of knowledge. It's no exaggeration to say that Charlier itself is one enormous shrine to him, and that's especially noticeable here in the studium.
Yeah, the giant statue outside was kind of a hint.
Just a little.
Interesting switch of music.
Here it is, Phenomenon. While I expect you may note of it before, one can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and the host of administrative offices and so forth.
As the center of what would later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of aetherological phenomena, hence its name. Though with aether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the 6th astral era, Phenomenon was decreed complete and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority in aetherology. The arcane, the occult, astromancy, and countless other fields standing proud as
Charlian's foremost education institute.
Alphino, you are going full travel brochure.
You always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited that exact same foppish speech. Such his undying love for our old stomping ground. He was at the top form back then, youngest ever to enter the studium, graduated with the highest honors in magical arts and aetherology, undisputed champion of debating chamber. Hold on. You both joined the studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphino actually entered half a year before me, nor did I do as well enough to graduate with honors. I am certainly not the studium's most notorious master debater. In all respect I've ever been in his shadow, if nothing else, just remember that this was where the legend of Alphino Leviar began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully, we'll be somewhere more welcome here than the last time we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration of student body has for Alphino, and with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scholar Montachin. Other facilities tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wherever the whim takes him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him.
Or we can just follow the calls of Martha, was I going up the stairs or down the stairs?
Oh god, I miss Corny. Interesting, there's actually a bell in here.
Okay, you are inside.
And a script exchange. Checking the hall first. Bert's window. Phenomena is something of a multi-purpose facility launched by lecturers and craftsmen alike. If you're looking for a learner's meet, it's through the last door on the left. Alice, eh? Things were bad enough during our school days, and Alphino's time abroad has only heightened his fame. Or should that be infamy? He has his rivals and detractors, of course. Most of them gave up after his adoring fans set upon them like ravenous dogs. Oh god.
Oh dear.
Alphino, on the other hand, never paid them much notice. They were simply beneath him. Oh dear.
His thoughts were elsewhere.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Over here.
Yeah, I was going to come back to that.
Himself in the flesh.
He spoke to me. He actually spoke to me. Oh gods. I'm going to talk to.
I
this
assure
lady.
you, I'll tell you all about it after my business with the Scholar has concluded. Scholark? Tell me, my good fellow, does this have something to do with saving the world from catastrophe? Might we turn our attention to Master Leveler's graduation thesis? I too have my doubts regarding our policy of non-intervention. Is it true that your experiences overseas are the reason you've incurred the ire of the Forum? Oh, what I wouldn't give to see you butt heads with those old codgers!
Oh dear. Yeah, Alphino, we're going to leave you to it. Frasone? My princess, my queen, so long as I can continue to research with you, I am in bliss. Wait, what?
Oh.
Yeah, we're not touching that with a 10-foot stole. Okay, Mr. Excitable Student.
It was Alphino Leveler, wasn't it? The Alphino Leveler?
Yeah, that was Alfie.
Alfie Toad. And he's with his sister and Master Baldician's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing. Any event of epic-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word! Unfortunately, he's not wrong. Oh, sorry, you said you're looking for this scholar, yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere. But Miss Aliapo should have a better idea. Miss...
Aliapo.
Twitch.
Oh dear.
Twitch.
Through here.
Hmm.
And I guess through here? Good enough. Yes, there is a Aliapo.
Oh dear.
Talaka?
All this pressure is going to be the end of me. Oh, I hope I find someone who can help soon.
Oh dear.
I sense future side quest.
Side quest is it's tingling. Side quest sense it's tingling.
Yes.
Hindigashi.
Hinigashi.
How am I supposed to approach any gleaners for help with the subject of our research remains undecided? Honestly, that man. Oh dear. And
Over
back
here.
here?
Or no, you did that. So yeah.
Yeah. Jude?
Hey, Jude. Oh dear. If only you were around to help me.
Deborah? Ugh. Oh gods. Sherilyn must be spared. Oh dear. You've
My
gotten into
Archon
the
loaf.
Archon loaf, haven't you? Boric?
Oh dear. Am I ever going to find a craftsman for the professor?
Yeah, I've got a feeling those are sidecraft. Yeah. Qua? Qui? Are you lost? Wandered off the streets, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I?
Afraid not.
Oh, how silly of me. An orientation is in order. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to the Searcher's Meet. Let me start with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the studio? That's
Information
right.
about the final days.
Well, not quite. That's right. Books! And what's the second
Okay.
most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. And that's why...
Simple view of the universe.
yes, it is. And that's why we deal in the Searchers Meet. Whenever students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or material, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners out to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Pasa this, tongue of giant toad that. It's enough to make your hair stand on end. Which is possibly why some of our students are trying to accomplish this... Which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish. This being a school of magic and all that.
The requests and everything, that sounds like a normal day of side quests to me.
As our notes gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. I'm thinking the top one.
I'll go with the other one then.
The only thing I'm interested in gleaning is information about the Scholark's whereabouts.
I've tracked down many miscellaneous knickknacks in my time, but I'm no gleaner.
I beg your pardon? You're not a gleaner? Then this was all an elaborate ruse? No, wait. Come to think of it, you never actually claimed to be one in the first place. My mistake. I assume that's the same for you?
No. So what you're telling me is you're not a gleaner? Yes, that's exactly what you said, isn't it? And you're looking for a Scholark? I'm afraid we don't have any of those in stock, but I can... Oh, you mean him! We don't have any Scholarks in stock.
He was here, but no, he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came, and you'll see on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive curios, not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams.
That's comforting.
In time it's taken me to tell you all this. The Scholark's probably already left. Best luck finding him. I have a feeling you're gonna need it. Oh dear.
You know, there is no way this is the last time we're talking to her extensively.
No. You have Tia?
my friend doesn't turn up soon, we'll be late for the lecture. He'd have been here 2 bells early if it were one of Professor Makoto's classes.
Oh!
Oh.
This would be Makoto's twin? Or her herself? I don't remember if Makoto is her first name or last name. But you do know who he's referencing, right?
The name is vaguely familiar, but no.
She's the little female Aura aetherologist who's been helping with the Bozja restoration. And has a big-ass crush on Sid?
Yes.
Yeah, her.
Okay. Vista 7. And now we just have one left in Shoreland, which we've seen. Learners Meet. This public lecture hall and phenomenon is open to studium pupils and Shoreland citizens alike. When prominent professors are scheduled to take the lectern, crowds of aspiring academics and established scholars often fill the room to capacity. There's Kryle.
Kryle, any love? Unsurprisingly, the Scholarch is not in his office. I did, however, speak with one student who saw him not long ago, so he can't have gone far. Passamaran?
It is quite rare to meet an outsider with such a curious mind as yours. Classes are not currently in session, but when they are, this place is filled with the sounds of students exchanging ideas and soaking up new knowledge.
Magasant?
That would affect the ethereal conductivity. You don't look like a student. This isn't Learners Meet.
Keat? We're researching prophecies. Lately, I've been reading over the writings of Master Louis Swa in hopes of gleaning some sort of heretofore unknown knowledge. Good luck there, kiddo. A lot emptier of a space. Hello, Mr. Lee, level-headed student.
Yes, the Scholarch was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though we spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps to one of the auditoriums?
He's gonna give us the runaround, isn't he?
Yep.
Fortunately, we have this thing called the Echo, where we can follow the quest points.
Now.
Sorry, I'm just... Ah, there he is. Aren't we just here?
Maybe.
Excuse me, sir. You were looking for us?
Ah, I remember you.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisois in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Montoya's prize student.
All in a day's work.
Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
I like him.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried.
Uh-huh.
Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
Hence the force choke.
How is that even possible?
I'm just glad that's all it is.
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
I was worried about somewhat more malign influence behind that.
Still could be, but
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether,
Take notes.
which imbues us with life, can be categorized into 3 forms. 2 are of the incorporeal sort, the soul, and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
be corporeal aether.
Yes. They have gone into this one before.
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it.
Welcome to Heidelin.
Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
Hmm.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. we would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well.
Ah,
In fact,
I'm a little
this
behind you.
exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
Right. The calamity.
and the Warriors of Light.
The seventh umbral calamity.
That's why nobody can remember them.
The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace.
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea.
This has been going on for 100-some years.
For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve, rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable. Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet. I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend.
Thank you.
Oh, and I suggest you speak with
Again?
Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
You've been granted the run of the phenomenon. If you're a game, Kialiapo would put your artisanry to good use.
There's someone here named $5 footlong.
Yes.
Nice. Well, you guys have heard the ad for Subway for the $5 footlong done by the same voice actor who does Astinian.
Oh, really?
Oh god,
you mentioning that.
It's hilarious. If you try and stick Astinian's face into it, it's like my head hurts. Alphino?
While Scholar Montaigne is best known for his role as head of the studium, he is said to be one of the finest mages Charlian has ever produced. Having seen for myself the ease with which he weaves extraordinarily complex and powerful magics, I have no reason to doubt the claim.
Alice? Some of my earliest members of the Scholar Montaigne, actually. He was a close friend of our grandfather's. He would come for tea and amuse us with his tricks, much like his demonstration with the paper and ink. He's a huge part of why I wanted to enter the studium in the first place. I can see that. Kryle?
A capital idea. Kryle is still digesting a rather hefty portion of food for thought.
Well, it's given me much to mull over. I feel that we're one step closer to understanding the form's true motives, and the mystery of life itself, for the good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I feel like his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in the days to come. On that note,
I imagine so.
let's head back to the annex. Perhaps on the way you could better acquaint yourself with Qui Aliapo, as the scholar suggested, while I share the findings with Raha. I think we've been officially go talk to Aliapo. You think that's a hit?
Maybe? Though... Oh, I think I know. Yeah.
Hand or land?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Shall we do it now? Or wait?
Up to you. Then let's wait. Come on.
Yeah, we have plenty of other side quests to go through first at the very least.
Yeah, and they're all here in the studium.
Yes.
Hello, Francine. You look a little worried. What's up?
My fair mammoth. Person is feverishly looking around while mumbling to himself.
Herself. Herself. Oh, my love, my light, where have you gone? I am nothing without you.
My Lord Frederick.
Oh, I didn't see you there. I was absorbed in my search. I've lost track of my mammoth, you see. A key assistant for my research into the mysteries of Aether. I must have given her an erroneous command, or perhaps even jilted her. She is gifted with such a sensitive heart, you know. In any case, it has been some time since it has been some time since she has left on her task. Please, can you assist me? Oh, thank you, thank you. I sent her out on an errand near the last stand, so you'll do well to begin your search there. Her aura is unmistakable. Keep an eye out for her elegant figure and imperious demeanor.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Let's do this north
I'll
one
also
first.
note that these side quests are technically 80s.
Oh.
Level scaling.
Yeah, they are level scaling.
Right.
A volatile education.
Passamara seeks eager minds. You there. From some distant and exotic land, yes? No, it's not exotic. Distant, sure. I require a fresh perspective for the next step in my research, if you have a few moments to spare.
Possibly.
Do not worry, nothing too complex will be required of you. I am planning an introductory class that will educate younglings on practical applications of etheric energy, and I seek opinions on the lesson plan. This is going to be quote-unquote for youngsters and over our heads, isn't it?
Probably. Can I stick it with my spear?
Oh dear. With any luck, it shall strike a spark which ignites a lifelong love of learning and curiosity. Considering my lofty goals, I welcome honest feedback even if it isn't entirely positive. Will you help?
I'll try.
You know, not entirely positive, but mostly positive, right? Thank you, my eager student. Together, I dare say we are building the future. Pray visit my colleague in tranquility. Burly Rogaden fellow, his imposing frame belies a brilliant mind.
Hello, Lalafellan student. What can I do for you?
Fast fashion. The student appears to be deep in thought.
I think that's a you.
You look to be the sort who's out and about, performing various feats of daring do and so forth. Why, the scent of the outdoors is practically wafting from you. Should I take a bath?
Probably.
Perhaps you've heard of the competition being held in the city. Designers from across the region submit designs for academic uniforms, and the winner will be worn by none other than the members of the forum. The chosen designer becomes exalted among their peers. Even a lowly student can have their name said in hushed whispers across the studium. I would have such fame for myself. I believe my concept might be just the thing to help me win it. I have an image in my mind of a rustic scholar, one who enjoys the open air of wilderness as much as the musty air of the library stacks. In fact, I've already prepared an initial design that looks fit to your frame perfectly. Would you try it on for me and that I might see if it conveys the message that I have in mind?
Sure. I'm your clothes host for the day.
Why do I have a feeling I'm participating in the fashion report?
Redlit Rose will be so proud.
Splendid, splendid. Well, then, we should find an area where you will be free to move as you please. I believe tranquility should be just the locale we require. Come, come.
Lots of pointing to the tranquility. And
You
we've
think
got
it's gonna be
one
very
more
tranquil
outside.
once we get there?
Well, as long as it's in the safe zone ground, we should be okay. Ah, they've gone back to listening to a lecture. Oh dear. It's a beaver! Why do we have a beaver here? Strange creature.
Too much alcoholic beverage?
You have seen this creature before, and your memories of it are not pleasant.
Oh!
Ow! Just ow! Timid
The
student.
creature from the wooden crate. The timid student is eyeing the thing in front of him with intense curiosity. looks of you, you are more inclined to adventuring than the average person, yes? Well, certainly the average person around here. Apologies for the imposition, but could you tell me if you've come across creatures such as the one before me on your journeys?
Yeah.
Squeal, squeal, squeal. Nope. Oh my, there it goes. I had no idea it could move so quickly. Apologies for giving you a fright. That thing was recently delivered to the door of my professor, although the reason why yet eludes us. Perhaps one of the cleaners sent it to us thinking it would make a suitable research subject. Never seen the likes of it, but it made an awful mess of our facilities. I'd hoped the fresh air might calm it down, but...
That's a beaver, and it grows quickly.
Beaver? I've never heard of such an animal. It must be a rare specimen indeed. And I let it escape! Yeah, imported directly from the first. Somehow. If word of my oversight gets out, my professor will tan my hide. I may even be forced to delay my studies by a whole year. I must find that creature at once. We need to cover as much ground as possible. Could you aid me in finding it before this day becomes a catastrophe?
I think that might be best.
Thank you, my friend, thank you. Well, then, it appears to have run off towards Urkon's design. I wish you good luck in the search.
You are coming to help.
If I were to be seen popping my head into bushes and under benches, others would start asking questions. Rest assured, I shall do my part, but I must be discreet about it. You, on the other hand, should head to Urkon's design. 2 sets of eyes are better than 1, I say. Oh, dear. How did we get a beaver here?
I don't know.
Why did we get a beaver here?
Hello, Mr. Stocky Student.
You must be the help Passmaran sent word about. Are you ready to begin your education?
I suppose.
Firstly, observe the object next to me. No mere rock, it is an experimental apparatus designed to simulate the movement of ether through the environment. Through it, I intend to demonstrate how crystals are formed. Now, the next order of the day is to use this explosive device to destroy the device. Or this explosive to destroy the device. Do not be afraid. Your extremities are safe, I assure you. Good. We've done this before. Okay. Distinct lack of crystals. Very good, very good. Did you enjoy yourself, little one? Now you have your very own crystal. Aether flows all around us, an invisible energy that nourishes all things. When a physical object so suffused with aether is destroyed, it releases the energy contained within it into its surroundings. Some returns to the environment, but some remains in the physical realm. Thus are crystals formed. Simple terms, they're the physical manifestation of aether frozen in time. Simple enough to understand, yes? I've heard those words before, but never
in that order.
Possibly from Marianne J. Is that so? Any Shirleyan youngling could recite those facts from memory. However, I may not always have the luxury of teaching such cultivated minds, as today has demonstrated. Who's looking for a bruising? Yes, we must be more thorough with our explanations. So thorough that even the unlearned would have no trouble understanding them. Thank you for your frank opinion. Sometimes an outside point of view can eliminate otherwise unseen faults. You've given us much to consider. As for the matter of compensation, my colleague is in charge of that. Please return to him to receive it. In other words, you're broke.
And instead we have a busted... Well, there are crystals here. So effectively it was a rock pinata.
Sure.
Hello, Mr. Lalafell student. Hello, Doodles.
Hey, Doodles.
This appears to be a suitable spot. Spacious, sunlight. Now try the robes on for size, although I'm somewhat certain they'll fit perfectly. It's amazing how many things do. However, I'd like to see how easy it is for you to perform feats of heroism, swinging your weapon up and down, grinning devilishly, things like that. Show me that battle stance you adventurers are so famous for. We'll change into the professional robes temporarily. You must stay clothed in the robes in order to progress. The robes are removed, or you wish to wear them longer, speak with the Lalafellan student. Oh yeah.
Well, they're definitely nice robes. Not exactly the best for Dragoon.
Yeah. Ah, yes, you look ready for a grand adventure under the sun. I believe these robes shall be well suited to both the lectern and the open fields. Now, I'd like to test the fabric's breathability. Work up a bit of a sweat for me, will you? A friend of mine needs a delivery done, so who better than you to do it? Please bring this crate here to Kikimo at the confluence. It's a bit of a trek, but you look up to the task.
Okay, where's the confluence again?
I don't know. I'm following you.
Okay, confluence
190
is
seconds.
I think we go this way. And we will have to come back to that quest there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're kind of uninterruptible at the moment.
So no, we go this way. And down this way.
Hey, it's not as maze-like as Palomar.
Oh god, that place gave old Daw fits. Kikimo, you said you need some crystals? Well, a member of the forum here? Welcome to my humble laboratory. What else you need, sir? Ma'am? Oh, you gave me quite a fright. You should be more aware of the effect that robes have on people around here, students and professors alike. Of course, I'll accept the crystals most gladly. That being said, pray inform the student who gave you that she should do her own work from now on, regardless of what experiments she may be conducting. Okay, so that little Lalafell's a girl. It's hard to tell sometimes.
Most of the time.
I will not deny this. I mean, they're neat robes, but, am I going the right way? I think I'm going the right way. I can't tell anymore. I went around the wrong way. Oh well. We'll get there eventually. All roads lead to Rome, after all. There is our quest. It's hiding. Ash-covered envelope. Oh, we need to turn these in first.
Yeah. Of course we do.
So, yeah. Welcome back, my adventurous assistant. I take it the crystals were delivered without incident. I see. Kiki Momo can scarcely get through a single conversation without getting her unwanted advice. No matter when my robes are chosen, I'd wager she'll treat me with respect I deserve. You don't appear to be flesh, so I take it the robes were light enough to allow somewhat physical taxing duties. However, I would like to examine them close for any signs of wear. Could you return them to me? Gladly.
More than happy to.
Thank you. My masterpiece draws one step closer to perfection. Function.
Disrobing sound effect.
Yeah, I know. Functionally, it appears that I'm on the right track. Now I must refine the design so that when the members of the forum behold it, they can think of nothing else but to wear them for years to come. Of course, I didn't mean to leave your coin purse empty after all this. Return to me where we first met, and I shall bring you your reward. Yeah, we'll catch you later. So, my question is it a real beaver? Or is it a fae disguised as a beaver?
Is there a difference?
Not much of one, actually.
The light of progress. You spy a blackened envelope on the floor of Archon's design. You spy an envelope on the ground, covered in ash. Upon closer inspection, you realize that the ash spells out a message. To the kind soul who finds this missive, pray deliver this letter to the unassuming Mikote scholar who can usually be found sequestered in a quiet corner of the confluence. Many thanks.
Okay! Is this like a secretive love letter or something? Scholars are weird. And here we are. Yo, Bookish Mikote, we seem to have a letter for you. That one's you.
Just waiting for it to come up.
Ah.
Yes? Were you looking for me? I suspect I spend too much time in this corner of the confluence if someone I've never met knows to find me here. Ash-covered envelope. The message written on this envelope indicates it is meant to be delivered to the confluence. Yep.
Just your local post, Moogle.
Mm-hmm. A letter? If you don't mind me asking, can you tell me where you found this?
Up by Archon's design, covered in ash.
Of course. I see. The place where you chanced upon this is one of dubious prominence. Students are confined there as punishment for recalcitrant behavior. I believe I recognize the hand which penned this message. The student is an acquaintance of mine, although that might be a rather generous term. Several days ago, he was confined there for concocting an explosive alchemical compound and using it to surprise his teachers. His little stunt ended with half the gardens in the teachers' quarters in ashes. Oh dear. Seems he put more effort into writing the message to his would-be courier than to his letter's recipient. Bring me food and a candle. I see. That poor schlout, it serves him right being locked up in that room. As you can doubtless surmise, our relationship is somewhat strained, and I apologize for making you party to it. But what's done is done, and now I would ask a favor of you myself.
Let me guess, you want us to deliver books and a candle.
Could you procure a candle from Tofwib at the Agora? I shall prepare the food this fool has requested, much as I would rather not. When you are done, pray meet me at the spot where you found the letter.
Ah, at least he's honest. Ooh, can we go through this door? No, we can't.
Never.
But it's a door. Doors are designed for people to go through them.
Never.
Let's actually head south and then circle back up.
Okay.
Though these are spread out in a weird enough way that it's hard to keep track of it all. Kinda sad they won't let us order a burger.
Maybe someday. Elegant Mammoth.
Oh my gosh! It's a wind-up Alice!
Oh no. Well, despite what it looked like, Flexfire, I think you might have been right. You see before you a mammoth most striking, and you can see why its owner is so taken with it. Return it before you are unable to resist the compulsion to keep it for yourself.
I already
thought we
have
had
one!
I have to admit, the best thing they ever did with the supposed in-world existence of the wind-up mammoths is showing the wind-up Graha.
Oh god, yeah, he
Yeah.
was like, oh. That was hilarious.
Yes, it was. It was perfect.
Especially, you have a chance to show both of them. The wind-up Graha and the wind-up Crystal Eckarch.
Yeah.
Tofwib? We were told you had a candle for us? A candle, you say? Why, of course. Here, take this. Please inform the requested student that they can pay me at their leisure.
Oh, that was easy.
This next one won't be.
We got a candle on a tab.
Can we go this way? Yeah, I think we can.
That is not something I would have expected.
There it is. Okay, Mr. Beaver, what are you doing here?
How'd you get here from the first? Squeal, squeal! This seems to be the creature you're looking for. When you attempt to pick it up, it squeals harshly, but seems more than willing to follow behind you. A strange creature is now accompanying you. Keep it at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. Speak with the creature. Squeal!
Yes, he squeals.
Why more beavers?
Always more beavers.
Why more beavers?
I just leave it to the beavers.
What was that, dear?
Just leave it to the beavers.
Yeah, but pretty much.
I've turned the heater back on, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
It's already down to 42.
You get a good night, dear. I'm just surprised we've not been visited by Fail Ul yet, berating us on why we haven't called her to the source to solve our problems for us, because, well, that would be fun. Okay, Bookish Makode.
There you are. Were you able to acquire the candle?
One candle right here.
Thick candle, the perfect candle for long nights of study. Yes, this shall do. Once again, I must apologize for sending you to and fro, but the sooner this matter is concluded, the better off we both shall be. I suppose since you're from a foreign land, you're unaware of what this candle represents. There's a reason that scoundrel requested a candle of this type. Long ago, one of the students confined within these rooms spent his days unraveling some of the most troublesome mathematical problems of the time. With nothing to distract his attention, he was quite successful. He wrote the equations on his wall with the blackened ends of his spent candles. When the professors saw what he had done, well, they were too impressed to be angry. Doubtless that idiot means to make his own mark, as many delinquent students have attempted to do since. Professors will turn a blind eye to his vandalism, to be sure. They would not let rules impede discovery. Any road, I will deliver these to him. Perhaps some good can come of his selfish request. Here, take this for your troubles. I pray there are no more.
Good luck to you. Sounds like your friend's a handful. And we are totally
Someone
being
methinks
followed.
is fed up.
We all have friends like that sometimes. No, we're gonna have to go around and up. I don't see a quick way up that slope. But how did this beaver get here?
Yeah.
At least it wasn't the tall foo-off.
Now that would be hilarious if he showed up here.
Oh god.
Scary, but hilarious.
My head would hurt. Okay, timid student, we found the beaver.
Oh, there you are. You found the creature? Strange. So did I. Oh no.
Oh no.
Not again. I could have sworn there was only one in the crate. Perhaps I was mistaken?
Please don't tell me they reproduce like tribbles.
No, they reproduce by ferrogenesis.
Yeah.
Well, what harm could another do? All the more for us to study.
You're probably going to eat those words.
I'd very nearly feared I would be a lowly student for yet another year. The outside world calls for my genius, and thanks to you, it shall have it.
This will not end well.
No.
Now I saw one other side quest.
Yep.
Right down at the Menumenon.
Numenon, yes. Booking books.
Do. Beavers. Why did it have to be beavers?
I do not have enough alcoholic beverage for this.
I don't think anyone has enough alcoholic beverage for this.
You should, you're the bartender.
Is it less?
Booking books. Isilus is poring over a book, but her mind seems to be elsewhere.
Ah, I've seen you around the Nomenon as of late. You're the adventurer, yes? I've been meaning to seek you out. I believe I have a task rather suited to your abilities. We've recently added a set of volumes procured from the Great Google Library to our collection. But no sooner did we set them in the stacks than a student handled them without taking the proper precautions. A spell was activated that apparently was meant to prevent their theft, causing all 5 of them to go scurrying, yes, scurrying, off to God knows where.
Oh no.
They are quite ornery in their current state, and I'm
Yes.
afraid a few of us are ill-suited for combat. For you two, however, books should be a simple enemy to best, if it comes to that. As I said before, the 5 volumes are sulking about at present. I've prepared a solution that should calm their rage somewhat, but they may require a few knocks on the spine before you can carry them off safely. Would you be so kind as to collect them for us? I suppose. Thank you, and Godspeeds.
Could we have some of that sleeping powder for the next time we go through Grand Google Library?
That would be nice.
It'd make that final boss a bit easier.
Unfortunately, knowing him, he's probably resistant to sleep. There's one.
Vicious volume. And there's another one in the distance. The book is chomping at the air as if to ward off anyone from coming too close. Use the powder to put it to sleep, but keep watch for your fingers. Bag containing powder made from an obscure herb. Simply sniffing it makes you drowsy. Book is slumbering peacefully. At least it appears so.
That's one book. Look, it's a vicious volume!
Do you suppose there's a vicious treble?
That's 2.
Seems to be everything in the local area.
Next set is up this direction. Yet another vicious volume. Whatever shall we do? Oh, look, sleeping powder. I wonder where this came from. And of course, the other one is on the other side of. Oh, there's one, but there's a. The last one's on the other side of the bridge.
Of course. Yeah.
Excuse you.
Yeah.
Why couldn't have we tripped those books off when we were trying to deal with all the fiends in the library? They would have actually helped.
No.
No?
They would not have helped.
No? No? Maybe we should have gone for the other bridge. Dang nabbit. Now we have to work our way around the buildings. Sorry, I went the wrong way again. There it
Just
is.
imagine you're at Palomar.
No! I barely ever went to Palomar, and I was kind of glad for it. I was mostly at Maricosta. The book is fast asleep. Judging from the cover, it contains stories of a Banga handmaiden and her lance. On the back cover is written, restricted. Oh dear. Mm. I think it was in the restricted section for a different reason.
Are you thinking Philoade thoughts?
Maybe? Of course, I don't think we've ever seen a female Banga, though.
Might be one of those cases where you can't tell.
It is possible. It was nice to be able to see the studium, though.
Mm-hmm.
Is it wise? Did you manage to collect the books? I hope they didn't have you running about for too long.
Thankfully, they did not go dashing about.
Have
Tranquil
five,
tome.
five
When
tranquil
books are
tomes.
closed, what do they dream of?
Ah yes, this is all of them. Thank you, adventurer. These were quite the precious find, and it would have been a shame to have them jump off a cliff or somewhere else equally as precarious. I see among them was a restricted tome. I'll have a word with the student who recklessly caused the whole incident, although he has been chastised plenty already, you can be sure. Unfortunately, this incident isn't the first of its kind. Books protected by this manner of ward must only be handled with gloves woven from the self-same grass I used to make the sleeping powder. If we don't take such measures, the books will crumble from age and the elements within the few generations. It's one of the very first lessons we teach students, but there's almost every year one who fails to listen. Ah, so it's restricted because of age, not because of content.
No. I think she was talking about all the living books.
And back to the
Just
studium
restricted
for the last set.
Mm-hmm.
But that beaver's going to be trouble. You know it.
The last one sure was.
Okay, Fransoni. We have your mammoth. Come back to me, my princess, my queen. Come back to me. Here's your elegant mammoth.
The existence of this mammoth is probably a secret best kept from certain individuals.
That's her, my enchanting mammoth. Not a single scratch upon her beautiful visage. Words cannot express how happy you've made me. I commissioned this masterpiece from a gleaner, and I had it molded after the woman who captured my heart from afar. With the aid of a tome written by Archmagus Quan, I constructed my own device to control it remotely. However, it seems that There are yet some kinks to be hammered out. Alas, a heart in rapture is prone to such mistakes. Details are easy to overlook when the whole world is your oyster. I must clean my head and redouble my efforts. Thank you once again for your help today. We won't soon forget you. Oh gods. Maybe that tome from Master Quam made it go too far? You remember Master Quan?
No?
Creator of Vivi?
Oh, really?
Yes!
Vivi was the first thing I'd thought of earlier, but yikes.
Yes! Hello, Ati! We're doing more questing. Lots of side questing.
Oop.
This way! Almost lost a kitten. Look out! Kitten lost! Apologies that I cannot give you more than this, but you understand that life of a student isn't one of luxury. When my name is heralded through the halls of the studium, however, I'll be certain to share with you the windfall that will surely come my way. Until then... Yeah, good luck, little guy. Girl. Them. I'm not sure I cared being a clothes horse for them. Almost got me in trouble. Pass him around?
Ah, there's my bushy-tailed student. Was the experiment to your liking? Children are ever so fond of explosions. Your payment. Oh, yes, of course. Besides whatever knowledge you gained today, free of charge, mind you, take this. And of course, you're always welcome to join us after I've revised my lesson plan.
That might be best. Well, hopefully they'll come up with a good lesson. But, they need to work on that. And now, back to main quest. After a quick double check, I see no other itinerant bangs or beavers.
Give it time.
I'm totally surprised Phil hasn't dropped in on us just to see what's going on. I know it's only a matter of time. We do not want to disappoint the queen. Sorry, the king. Their official title is king.
This is true.
Ah, back to the main entrance hall. Alice? Oh, you're still loading in. There you go. You'd better not let your guard down around Quie. One of the small fairs becomes another, then another, and before you know it, you'll be running into the other side of the world in search of a bottle of wine or some such rubbish. Then again...
Gee, haven't done that before.
As long as it doesn't involve baking bread or making yourself look better in front of your spouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Then again, it might make for a welcome change of pace from your usual heroics, and as such as Scholar said, it could also lead to interesting discoveries. Ryle? It seems I've done an adequate job of relating Scholar Montegaine's lecture to Raha. Given his experience in the field of souls and memories, he has no trouble understanding it. Alphino?
Estinian returned not long after we'd departed for the studium. A shame that he missed the chance to attend our lecture with the Scholark. Or perhaps not.
You know he's not the, sitting to lecture types. Estinian?
Having spent most of the time in Thavnair, I've yet to fully grasp the lie of the land here in Charlian. Even finding my way to the Annex proved a challenge. Just pretend you're at Palomar College. It helps.
No, it doesn't! Graha?
Welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the Studium proved most educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow Scions. As expected, news of the awarding scales was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession to Lemza Lumenza.
So, the time has come for us to go on the offensive?
It's too early to say for certain. That does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vilvrant.
Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? Phew, I didn't realize these crates were so heavy.
You're as big as you. What did you expect? I mean, I almost commented on it when they went off.
I shouldn't complain, though. Vertra and the alchemists at the Great Works put their hearts and souls into each and every one of those scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. You're not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the foreign's watchful gaze, I've little choice but to stay behind. We've already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as our official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how well that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Motoya and our other allies.
With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn. I can feel it. To Lemza Lomenza.
Everyone, take a box. Except for you, Kryle. If you learn aught of interest, be sure to let me know. In the meantime, I will do what I can to aid our cause, though I fear that will be precious little given the circumstances. Hold the throat, Kryle. We'll be back for breakfast.
Smoke us a kipper?
Mm-hmm. Smoke me a kipper, I'll be back for breakfast. As I wait for you to load in. Ah, there you are.
It's a tall
It's a what?
tofu off!
Oh my god, it is a tofu off. And he's throwing money at everybody.
Yes! Hey, you're broke. Go get some.
No, not from the tofu off. As we slowly make our way to the port. But yeah, we knew this day was coming. It's just coming a lot faster than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Check your arrows and quivers. We're gonna need it.
That is one of the things they have managed to do before. Basically say, okay, it's fairly obvious we're gonna hit this point, and then they put it at you much earlier in the plot than you expect.
Two for Limza Lomenza, please.
300 gil.
As opposed to 1,000 some gil. I'll take that.
Yeah, still sticker shock after being used to the, 80 gil fairies.
Truth.
It's sure no Tendramoy.
Tendramoy. Oh gods, it's snowing. I suppose I should pull my long johns out of the glamour chest, shouldn't I?
When does the celebration go until?
December 31st?
Probably.
Yeah. So we've still got about a week and a half, 2 weeks, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are. Good sir, I believe we've been asked to head up to the command central.
I was told to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral is at present entertaining the Elder Seedseer and the Sultana. 3 of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you up to them?
Show us up. My apologies for calling you away from Charlan on such short notice.
On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company.
'Twas only right that this decision must be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. A victory will only be claimed through decisive actions, and we have yet taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion.
It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan entails?
It hinges entirely on the warding scales and our ability to use their potential to their fullest. During your time in Charlian, the allied nations have engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge in abductions of kobolds, Sahagin, Ixal, and Anata have given rise to an increased number of primals as well.
Oh boy.
But your triumph in Razat Han has given us cause to hope once more. This time has come to free ourselves of this menace. And it is to you, the scions of the seventh dawn, that you have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Delaferoy at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be the Ilzabard contingent.
To think such progress has been made in so short a span.
Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered. Robbed of their free will, they serve the Telafroi's every whim without question. There are too many our victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I do not ask what we set out aside the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I ask only in choosing to remember we do not also forsake our compassion or our morality, for without that there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. On that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Oriange observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there is reason to believe the smaller spires were merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we'd failed to make any headway. Though the same could be said of the Telafroi. There's certainly no rush to press forward into our lands. I'd wager these spires' primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied, while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Ystola's analysis of the tower, influenced on aether currents. Based on her observation inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon aether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required to take this task alone. The excess of remaining aether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harnessed to our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if they'd been redirecting it to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers.
That's all well and good. But what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way.
We want you and your scales to join the Ilzabard contingent. Considering an offer of request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance, do you accept? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. None of those were right! Come on, people!
Yeah! For the people of Garlemald.
For those who we've lost, for those who we can yet save.
Yeah, I know, but that's not here.
I know.
For the people of Garlemald is about as close to that as it comes.
Couldn't have put it better myself. Yustola, Thancred, and Oriange have already pledged their support, and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive that you would come to do the same decision that they did. Luckily, for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the warding scales to Alamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Ilzabard. Raubarn and Lord Emeric are overseeing the preparations, so I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs, and the like. Without it, the cold will do to you. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telophoroi so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go. Safe in the knowledge that Diorzia will be as you left it. Better? Upon your return. Woohoo!
Yeah, you're actually at a good stopping point.
Mm-hmm.
Want to spend the night here, or do we want to,
Probably here.
That sounds like a good plan. I hear it's been a while since we've been to the Drunken Wench. I need to think before I speak. Maybe I'll stumble over my words less.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And you're still too cheap for us to go to the Bismarck, huh?
We can go to the Bismarck. Want to go to the Bismarck instead?
Yeah.
Gotta remember, the main problem with going to the Bismarck is not the fact of me being too cheap. It's the fact that I show up there and suddenly our guildmaster will try to drag us into the kitchen so that he can put on a special promotion.
Yeah, well.
We are, at this point, world-famous chefs.
Yes.
Pride of the Bismarck?
Hey, you want to wreck your reputation?
No, I am not serving them Archon loaf. This seat over here seems pretty good.
I don't know that I'd ever noticed that.
Hmm?
There's a little miniature snowman underneath the chair.
Yes. Yes, there is.
I don't think I ever noticed that.
Well, thank you all for joining us. Sorry we couldn't get to the Bun Buns tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to do that next Sunday. We're hoping the servers will go down enough that we can do that. If not, we'll maybe do a special presentation during the week of them so we can do the Christmas Starlight Festival holiday. Yeah.
Hey, Bun Bun Holiday Special.
Yeah. But yeah, the servers are getting a little better. They're at least getting a lot more stable, that's for sure. So that's good. We do have maintenance coming in on Monday night, and that includes a patch to the login server, so hopefully they'll be more stable. And we can only hope that things get stable enough that they can start selling the game again.
Yeah.
They actually, during the week, decided to take all sales of the game, both physical and electronic, off the market until they can get the queue issues resolved. They've been trying very hard to get new hardware. They've actually been trying for almost a year now to get new hardware. And it sounds like they might finally have a roadmap that we'll know more of in January. Knock on wood. We'll see how that goes. In any case, you all have a good night's sleep. Thank you so much for joining us. We will actually probably stream more on Monday. Knock on wood.
No.
No? No, we can't. We'll be in maintenance. Maintenance starts at 6. Boo. Yeah, we'll be watching anime Monday. We'll probably stream Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a day. Anyway, good night all.
Good night,
Good night,
everyone.
everyone.